In today's video, I am going to be giving you my honest review of the new Sarah's Days Sunee app. I'm pretty much just want to take you through my thoughts, show you inside the app, show you some of the recipes I made from it, just basically say whether I think it's worth it or not. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I followed Sarah's Day honestly for years, and I remember her talking about this cooking project for honestly what feels like forever. So it's so exciting that she's actually finally came out with it. So first up, let's just have a little look through the app and see what all of the different options are. So when you very first open the app, it takes you onto this new on Sunee page where you can scroll through and see all of the different new recipes that have been uploaded this week, I think, because Sarah has mentioned she will be uploading new recipes every single week. So that is so beautiful. Honestly, when you open the app, like the aesthetic of the app is just stunning. I feel like my aesthetic is very similar to Sarah's Day. I love baby pink. It's one of my favorite things, and I love the fonts she uses, and the photography is just incredible. So like when you open it, it feels so like luxe. So luxe is like the way I would describe it. And then you go into the next little option, which is like the knife and fork, and this is where you can see all of the recipes, so they're broken out. And then at the bottom there is a little option that says recipe roulette, which I think is super cute, and you can press it to spin and it will just give you a random recipe if you're feeling like super uninspired. So if we click into one of the options, I'm going to go into main meals. You just scroll down and look at all of the different recipes. I just think like the app and the interface is super easy to use. You can see a lot of thought went into the like user interface and everything because it's just so nice and seamless. I've also had no glitches or anything yet, so the app development is obviously really amazing. Okay, so if we click into one of the recipes, it's just the way that you would expect any recipe to be set out with the ingredients, method, and notes. I do have a few little like criticisms. What I do really wish was in there was like the amount of time a recipe takes to make, because it doesn't say that anywhere. And sometimes, you know, if it's like a Sunday afternoon and I've got a lot of time, I can make recipes that take a lot of time and have a lot of ingredients and a lot of steps. But sometimes when it's like after work and I just need a quick dinner, then I just want something that's really quick, and it just doesn't have that in here. I'm like, how long is it going to take to prepare? How long is it going to take to cook? Is this a weekday kind of meal, or is this a meal that I should cook on the weekend? I did somewhere see her mention that the crispy potato bake was something that took a long time to make. So I've actually decided to make that when I have a little bit of free time on a Sunday afternoon. So let's jump into making that recipe. And alongside it, I've also decided to make the prosciutto wrapped meatballs because I've seen Sarah's Day make these. This is actually something, one of the free recipes that she has put on the website as like an example, and they just look incredible. So I'm going to make those alongside the crispy potato bake. And I really wanted to try out the crispy potato bake because Sarah's Day's whole thing is like making like healthy alternatives to like the junk food that you used to love. And I love potato bake. I saw my mum used to make it as a kid, and it's still today. It's like, oh, one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. So I'm really interested to see how a healthy version of that goes. All right, guys, we have the creamy potato bake. Oh, sorry, I'm not on frame. You know what, that actually tastes really good. Oh my god. No, that tastes absolutely delicious. It tastes like the real thing. The only thing I would say is missing is the top didn't like go, you know when you have melted cheese and you bake it and it goes nice and crispy? It's not quite like that on top, but honestly, it actually really tastes like proper creamy potato bake. The sauce turned out really well. And then the next thing I made was the prosciutto wrapped meatballs. Oh my god. Those are so good. Holy shit. I will say though, this meal has taken me like about 2 hours to make, so very time consuming and can only be done really on a weekend, not a weekday meal, but I am impressed. So there was a lot of feedback about the cost of the app, and I kind of agree with a lot of it. I do think the only options to pay for the app were 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, and there's also no free trials. So I was like, oh, like signing up for something for 3 months that I have no idea what's on there. There's no idea if I'm gonna like the recipes or, you know, if I'm gonna find them valuable, if I'm gonna use them. I felt like 3 months, quite a big commitment. When it got converted to pounds, for me, honestly, my brain still works in like Australian dollars, even though I've lived in the UK for like 2.5 years now. But the Australian price for 3 months is $47.99, and when you convert that into pounds, it's only £27. So to be honest, I was like, £27 for 3 months, that's nothing. But then when I was like, oh wait, if I convert that into Australian dollars, okay, it's a little bit on the expensive side, but I guess we will see how. She has mentioned that she'll be uploading new recipes every single week, so I guess that's like your incentive to stay and keep paying for the app every month. So it would be interesting to see what exactly recipes she does upload every week, and whether I actually think it's worth it to be continuing to pay for it every month. So moving on in like the little app tour is this little apple with a tick in it, and it's called Healthy Hacks, and I think this is absolutely amazing for someone who's really first starting out on their health journey and needs a bit of advice on exactly how to do certain things. I really love the idea of Healthy Plate, and I love how interactive it is as well. And you've got like the picture and you can like click across and stuff. I think that is super cute, and it is a really great way to just have in mind like portion sizes and how much of each type of like macronutrients you should be eating for someone that doesn't really know exactly that kind of information because they're just starting out on their health journey. I think that is a really valuable piece of information, and she's just made it in a really fun way, hasn't she? So next is a little flame, which is called Hot Topics, and Sarah mentioned that this kind of area is meant to be almost like a magazine, or to me I feel like it's like a blog post kind of part of the app where regularly new articles and things will be added in there. And I've had a quick read through them all, and I actually quite enjoy it. I think it's like a good little, you know, you've got a couple minutes spare, and instead of just scrolling through social media, it's cool to just scroll through one of these and have a read through it and actually gain some like valuable information instead of just mindlessly scrolling on social media. And then last up is just your profile, and you can find your favorites and stuff. I really like that you can favorite recipes so that you can quickly find them in the app without like scrolling through everything. And there is also a search function, which is very, very good for userability. Is that a word? Userability. You know what I mean? Because like you can just quickly search for something. Like for instance, I know that I wanted to make the avocado creamy carbonara, I think it's called. So instead of like trying to like search through the main meals and find it, I could quickly just type that in. So I think that is really, really handy. So actually let's jump into making that creamy carbonara, because carbonara is one of Connor's favorite foods. He does make his own version of carbonara, but let me tell you, it is so unhealthy. So I decided I was gonna make this version for him, and let's see what he thinks of it. It's gonna be an interesting one. Okay, don't mind the red face. I'm really hot from cooking and wearing this hoodie at the same time. But I'm gonna try the avocado carbonara. It looks really yummy. It really tastes like avocado. Like that's about the only taste I've got. I love avocado, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite foods. It'd be interesting to see what Connor thinks. One sec.
What is this one? The avocado carbonara. Yeah, I love carbonara normally, so this. Those are really good.
Do you think it tastes a lot like avocado though?
It really doesn't have that much of an avocado taste.
Really?
No, not as much as you would think.
Oh, I think it does.
Do you?
Yeah.
Maybe I've just lost all my taste buds. No, it's really nice. I like that.
So something else that really kind of bothered me about the app is there's no calories included. And if you are someone that gets triggered by calories, please just skip this part. But for me, at the moment, I'm not tracking my calories. I am just kind of eating intuitively, but I do really like to know how much calories are in things, just to be like mindful of it. Because the reality of calories is if you eat too many calories, you're going to gain weight. Like that is just what calories are. So I personally love dessert, and I always have a sweet tooth, and I always have a craving about an hour after dinner, and I want a sweet treat. So for me, at that time of night, these calories are they're not because I'm hungry. They are not calories I necessarily need in my body. So And I know that it's just simply because I have a craving. So I am quite conscious of the amount of calories I eat in my desserts because they're not actually calories I need. For example, there is a chocolate mug cake on the app, and I love mug cakes. They're such a cool idea. So I actually calculated calories myself in MyFitnessPal, and it turned out to be 400 calories per mug cake. And I was like, if I'm eating 400 calories every single night for dinner, like, that's just, I just don't need to be doing that. So I had a look at it and I was like, yeah, I just don't think I can really eat this recipe because it's something I will need to eat during the day when I'm actually hungry and I actually need the calories for fuel rather than just because I want something sweet. I know Sarah's Day really, she eats intuitively and she doesn't count calories, but it doesn't mean that other people don't. So I really wanted to try out one of the sweet recipes. I wanted to give the caramel coconut bites a go. Something else that kind of bothers me about this is there's no option to change the servings of it. So for example, these caramel coconut bites make 12 to 16 bites. There is no way I'm gonna be able to eat 16 bites, even 12 bites. At the moment, we're in lockdown. It's just me and Connor at home. We can't go and give the food to anyone else. We have no one else coming over to eat our food. So ideally, I would probably only make maybe like 6 or 8 of them, and me and Connor could just have them for a couple of days. I really don't need 16 bites. So I do really wish it just had that option where you could just type in how many servings you want to make, because yeah, like I said, sometimes you just don't need to make that much. And at the moment, I'm just cooking for me and Connor, and there is no way I can cook for anyone else or give anyone else food. I've got the, what was it called? Caramel coconut bites. I halved the recipe so it's much smaller because like I mentioned, it's only me and Connor eating this and we don't need like 18 bites or whatever. So I think I might, maybe I'll cut it into 6, I think. So it's really, really soft. I don't know if it's gonna like hold. Oh God, look how sticky that is on the knife. I mean, it is very, very soft. I'm not so sure about that. It doesn't taste bad, but the buckwheat bits at the bottom are a bit funky. They're like really hard to eat. So that's what it looks like, but it is just really soft and not holding together at all. I'm not so sure about this one. So obviously all the recipes are dairy-free and gluten-free because that is what Sarah's diet is, but not everyone necessarily has those dietary requirements. And there are a few like weird things in there, like say for example, buckwheat flour. Getting things like that isn't super easy in the UK. I feel like they're a little bit behind the times on like health foods. So it would be really great to just be like, okay, if you can't get buckwheat flour, what can you use instead of buckwheat flour? Even if the recipes weren't tested by Sarah with these different alternatives, even if it was just like maybe something that came from the nutritionist or something like that that said, if you can't get buckwheat flour, you could try, like, is an alternative just using plain flour? I'm not really sure. But maybe like it could just be like a little note that's like, if you can't get buckwheat flour, you could try plain flour. We haven't tested it with this, but it is just an option that like you could swap out instead, just because there is a bit few like funky things. So I guess my summary is there is a lot of sick recipes. There's a lot of information on the app. It is so beautiful and user-friendly, and I think it is a great thing to try out for a little bit of amount of time. Will I pay for this app long term? I'm not sure. I guess we need to see in the future how good the new recipes are. But if I'm completely honest right now, I kind of see myself using it for these 3 months and then kind of getting rid of it. I just don't know if it's like a expense I can justify to continue paying every month, if you get what I mean. But if you are on the fence about trying it, I definitely think there is so many cool recipes. They are delicious. Sarah is so creative in making healthy alternatives for things, and there is a lot of simple recipes that you can cook on there as well. So definitely give it a go if you're thinking about it. She's put so much time and effort in it, and it's obviously very clear that she has done that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little review. Comment down below if there's any other apps you want me to review. I'm kind of really loving this review thing. It's quite fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will speak to you in my next video. Bye!